All right, let's get to some breaking hurricane news. There will never be another Hurricane Melissa. Following a unanimous decision by the World Meteorological Organization, that name has been officially struck from the rotating list of tropical cyclone names. Melissa was not just another event. It was a meteorological anomaly that redefined the limits of Caribbean destruction. It made landfall close to its absolute peak and historic intensity, and the results in Jamaica were catastrophic. One of the strongest hurricanes in history when it slammed into the island nation on October the 28th, 2025, as a monstrous Category 5. 95 people were killed in the Caribbean, and the storm caused nearly $9 billion in damage. That's 41% of Jamaica's GDP. By retiring the name, the WMO ensures that Melissa will now only be found in the record books, the history books, and in meteorological archives, replaced on the 2031 list. We mentioned it's a 6-year rotating list by the name Molly. Let's bring in Fox Weather hurricane specialist Bryan Norcross, as Melissa is now the 100th Atlantic hurricane name to be retired since 1954. Bryan, we were just talking about this storm last week because the Hurricane Center confirmed some of the insane data that was gathered inside this storm. This is procedural, I suppose. I mean, if there was ever going to be a name retired, you can make as good of an argument for Melissa as any.
Yeah, this was a certainty. The way it works is all around the world there are regions, WMO, World Meteorological Organization regions, and this region is Region 4, and the National Hurricane Center is the lead agency in Region 4. Well, they have a committee meeting, and they're having it right now, as a matter of fact, in Mexico City, and Jamaica and Cuba asked that the name Melissa be retired, and everybody agreed that that was completely appropriate, of course, as I think we all would. And so that's how it works. The affected countries have the ability to ask. Every once in a while, you have a name that you think is going to get retired, but the country doesn't do it. And so it doesn't end up being retired. But I'm trying to think of the storm. Beryl was one, right, Ian, that we kind of thought might get retired. But I don't know, maybe it finally did from Grenada, I think, but it was not from subsequent effects like in Texas, if my memory is right. But help me there on Beryl.
Yes, I'm looking at it right here. The World Meteorological Organization did retire the 2024 storm.
They did retire Beryl. So this one is so the M storms are inching up the list. As a matter of fact, M had been 6th. Now it's 5th, tied with D in terms of the letters that are the beginning letters of storm names. Of course, I is by far the winner with 13 retired I's. So this is the 8th retired M. But I know that I wouldn't say with Molly they're scraping the bottom of the barrel yet, but it gets a little hard, although there probably are more M names in the world than there are I names. That makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, we're looking at some of this satellite imagery, Bryan. As we look at this, we had said maximum destruction. Part of what was so noteworthy about Melissa, well, it peaked at 190, ties for a record, makes landfall at 185. That feels like the most unfortunate part of this, that it was so strong near its absolute peak as it moved in.
Yeah, the peak intensity was just offshore, and that 190 ties for the strongest in the record book in the Atlantic for any storm. Now, we do have a hurricane offshore of Mexico at 215. That was Patricia. But in the Atlantic, this is as strong as they get in terms of anything that's ever been measured. And I remember saying that on Fox Weather last year. This is as strong a hurricane as you're ever going to see. And indeed, it ended up being tied with Allen at 190 miles per hour. But the Allen record has yet to be reanalyzed. So as we talked about last week, we'll see be when the National Hurricane Center and the NOAA committee that is reanalyzing all the storms gets to 1980 and Hurricane Allen, if they keep that at 190 miles per hour, although the data looks pretty solid that generated that 190 mile per hour estimate in terms of the sustained winds.
Yeah, just incredible, awful scenes that we saw during this. I mean, we're going to be checking in with Robert Ray as well, and the scenes where the windows blew out on the home that he was in, sheltering in as the storm moved on through. Bryan, in a way, here on Fox Weather, you are our World Meteorological Organization. You've seen it all with the context of all of these devastating storms over the last several decades, the 100th name being retired. Where do you put Melissa in this overall list? I know many storms are apples to oranges, but at least, as you said, in a theoretical sense, this is about as strong as it gets.
Yeah, we don't see storms like this in the Atlantic. Look at that system. It just is this perfect donut, and it maintained that for this incredibly long period of time that normally we get cycling. It gets disrupted by internal processes and so forth. It just didn't happen. It was more like a Pacific type storm than an Atlantic storm. Why it didn't go through that internal process is a very good question that I don't think anybody has an answer to. At least I haven't seen any real solid speculation on that, but it will be analyzed to death to try and figure out exactly what we could look for in the future to identify a storm that doesn't go through an eye wall replacement cycle, go through a weakening process and an expanding process. Now, you know, in some ways, it was better for Jamaica overall. It was horrible for the western part of the country, obviously, but it was better for Jamaica overall that it never went through that expansion process. If it had done that, it would have made bigger problems in Kingston and the population centers in the eastern half of Jamaica. So it more or less maintained its size as it moved farther west and then turned north up into New Hope and Black River, and of course also dramatically affected Montego Bay on the northwest coast there of Jamaica as it was exiting and heading for Cuba.
Yeah, Bryan, you read in my mind. I did want to ask you a little bit more about that. You consider that this storm was somehow immune to the eye wall replacement cycle, and that had real-world consequences, as you were just talking about. But we know for a fact that the National Hurricane Center and the hurricane hunters, they got really good data in the hours before this moved on shore, record-breaking data that was confirmed in its authenticity and its accuracy. Will that help evaluating this moving forward to see what exactly went down there?
Well, you know, this is the kind of hurricane called an annular hurricane, and we do see them in the Pacific. And the way what kind of defines an annular hurricane is it doesn't have those arms. You know, think of the hurricane symbol, right? It's got these arms that come down into the circle. But the annular hurricane and Melissa really didn't have arms. It was really to do with the core of that storm. And when you get that kind of storm, they tend to not weaken so much. They kind of shield themselves from outside influences. But, you know, we saw it on radar. We saw all this in real time, and it looked like, and I remember writing about this, it looks like it's trying to form an outer eye and go through that expansion process, but it never did that. It didn't complete it, and the hurricane hunters going through it didn't find like a maximum wind at the inner eye and then another maximum of wind at the outer eye. They never saw that.
Right.
We saw it kind of trying to start it on radar, but it didn't do it. So it's just really rare that we have this amount of data for a system like this. So this is going to be extremely well analyzed as we go forward in time here by the scientific community to try and figure out what was different about Melissa than other strong storms that we've seen that have gone through eye wall replacement cycles.
Yeah, fascinating and devastating for so many reasons. But I was standing right here in the same spot talking to you, tracking the storm. And yeah, it was like a kind of a fake out a couple of times with some of the radar data. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what comes out of that. That's Fox Weather hurricane specialist Bryan Norcross. Bryan, 89 days. We have a severe weather season to get through. That's starting fast.
Yeah,
but
we do.
In 89 days, it's hurricane season, and we'll be talking a lot more often. The great Bryan Norcross, thank you.